Hello and welcome to the Home Track Challenge, sort of building on what we did with the Nashville Fairgrounds last week and taking it to 8 short tracks in different regions in the United States. Starting this week with Bowman Gray Stadium in North Carolina, that will represent our Carolinas region. I'm going to take a quick run through the schedule and show you where we're headed. Up next will be South Boston. That'll come out next week. South Boston, Virginia, home of the Burton family there. Wall Stadium, New Jersey, a host to the modified series and favorite of the Northeast, especially in short track racing communities. We'll head there to that bull ring. Five Flags in Pensacola, the host of the Snowball Derby. While the first 3 tracks that I've mentioned have been bull ring, less than 4/10 of a mile in length. Five Flags is a big half-mile track, a little faster, a little more to the Cup Series taste, but it will still put on a great race, I'm sure. Up next, the Great Lakes region, Kalamazoo in Michigan, another bull ring track, the fastest 3/8 mile in the world. We'll head out to Irwindale, California for the west or the southwest region. It's a few drivers' home track that you can see in the 3 national series. Ryan Vargas, a good example. Irwindale is his home track. And we'll eventually head to Evergreen for the penultimate race, the Northwest region there. It's a track that's made a bid for some National Touring Series races in the past. I think they had a truck race at one point, but that is a great little short track up in Washington. And we will close the season in Salem, a high-banked short track that is sure to put on a great show. And beyond the schedule, let's get to the rules for this. There will be a random draw to determine the starting order for heat races, and any driver who can't make the feature race 3 weeks in a row is going to be pulled from the random draw and put to the tail of their heat race to prevent guys who can't make the feature from consistently getting lucky and drawing spots that are in the way. The top 10 will advance out of the heats. The top 5 go to a pole shuffle to determine the pole. And the rest go to a B main. 5 come out of that B main, and we'll have 25 drivers for the feature race. The points format, it is an 8-race season-long championship. No playoffs, no bonus points, no gimmicks, really. Heat races will pay points just like a stage. 10 for first, 9 for second, and so on, down to 1 for 10th. Winning the pole shuffle is also 5 bonus points, and with the added bonus of winning the pole shuffle puts you on the pole for the race. And 25 drivers that make up the feature race, all of those will score points based on the current NASCAR rules. Anyone who doesn't make the feature race does not score any points. So you'll have to make the feature race to score points, which will keep the championship battles interesting. And that's it. Sorry for the long introduction, a little bit to get through, but we'll be on to the show. Hope you enjoy. So to start things off, it will be the first 2 heats from Bowman Gray. First heat, BJ McLeod is on the pole. He drew the pole. And a lot of back markers in this field, especially up front, so it will be interesting to see them work through that. 30 laps, top 5 to the pole shuffle, top 10 to the feature. And the green flag is out. BJ McLeod leads them down. Cody Ware on his outside. That's a front row you'd never expect. And Austin Dillon straight away, bumper to the back of the 78, and he's through 3 wide. Aggressive move there, and spinning in the back is Quinn Houff. That will bring out a caution. Kevin Harvick also 3 wide through to second, but Austin Dillon with a big move in turn 1 wastes no time. Looking at the replay here, you can see Chris Buescher and Quinn Houff just get hooked up, and Houff goes for a ride, doesn't hit anything, no issue. In the top left, you'll see the scoreboard. You can see the guys in the pole shuffle, guys in the feature race, and anyone not on the top 10 board will be in the B main. So you want to be in the top 10 here. Green flag back out again. We'll give this another shot. Couldn't make it back to the green the first time, but things a little more organized this time. Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick will race for the lead. Harvick falling to about a car length. Cody Ware really holding up that battle back there. And right away we'll look to the transfer spot. This is going to be the interest point of the entire race. Bubba Wallace, JJ Yaley, looks like right now racing for that. And Bubba stuck on the outside, even though he's definitely in the better car than the 2 guys he's racing against. Doesn't exactly matter when you're stuck on the outside at Bowman Gray. Very difficult place to be. Quarter mile like this, you want the bottom. Flat quarter miles, you're always going to want the bottom. Ryan Blaney has the bottom, and he's going through. So that 54 is the target, and they're not there yet. Blaney beating the bumper off of the 77 in front of him. He wants through, but he's not going to get it right away because they're locked up too wide in front of him. Once again, 12 just beating the bumper off the 77. He's going to look to the inside here. 77 closes the door. Reed Sorensen battling hard, trying to hold on to that transfer spot, and that's one of the things about the random draw is you can get lucky, and if you don't have the car, you can at least try and use your track position. Riding on board with Blaney here, you can see the log jam in front of him. He's actually going to look to the outside. Brave move. We'll see if it works. But speaking to track position, you know, if you can hold that track position, which is what we're going to see these normally back markers try and do, you might can get into the feature and score points and better your championship chase and finish in the top 20 in points if you manage it right. Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch now racing. Blaney's move to the high side did not work. It's a flat quarter mile. What do you expect? It didn't work. Kurt Busch will be through on the bottom. He's going to look under the 54 and move Kurt Busch into the transfer. He is the last car in right now in 10th. But there's a lot of hungry guys behind him trying to get through. Bubba Wallace is going to look for the 54 car here. And he's going to barely get to the inside. That was tight, but he got it done. Meanwhile, getting away at the front is Austin Dillon. No struggles for the 3 car. He's actually put a healthy gap on the 4, so that's a good car right there, and we'll see what he can do. But he's going to have to get through some lap traffic and keep it together. He doesn't want to mess this up and lose his shot at the pole or even just the feature by making a big mistake. Kurt Busch, Bubba Wallace racing for 10th here. Wallace is going to get through to the top 10. Kurt Busch not able to hold him off on the outside. And now they'll look to get past BJ McLeod, who started on the pole and has fallen back. Once again, riding along with Ryan Blaney in P11. A little over 10 laps to go here, and he's stuck behind Bubba Wallace. And that's the thing, you see Bubba just painting that curb and putting the left side tires where Blaney cannot do anything about it but hit him in the back. And that's why you'll see these. Oh, and there we are, right in the left rear that gets both cars loose. But see damage to the back of most of these cars, and that's just from aggressive moves like what Matt DiBenedetto is doing. He sees a hole and he puts his nose in it. 3 wide, Matt DiBenedetto looking for the transfer spot. Bodies up Ryan Blaney. They bang doors in the center of 1 and 2. Now it's 2 wide. Bubba Wallace bows out. He's going to go to the bottom and try and follow DiBenedetto through. Matt DiBenedetto looking for the spot on Ryan Blaney. And it seems that Blaney's holding off on the high side better than most. But Matty D still has the edge on the bottom, and he's going to get it at the line here. Lap 24, about 7 to go. Matty D has that transfer spot. Be interesting to see if they can get past the 78. And speaking of, there it is, the 21, going to get under the 78. If he can bring his teammate through with them, that could be 2 Penske cars locked into the feature in this race. Meanwhile, Austin Dillon stuck in lap traffic, but no qualms about that. He has a big lead. Kevin Harvick will have to deal with the same trouble. So at this point, Dillon just needs to nurse it home, and that's kind of what he's doing. Not pushing the issue, you can see. Just sort of not taking big risks. And JJ Yaley here gets turned. Brennan Poole gets hooked up with the 54, and they go for a slide. Caution is out, and with so few laps left, that's going to end the race. 2 to go, and Matt DiBenedetto and Ryan Blaney will be the transfers. Austin Dillon will take the heat race, and we have our first 10 cars that are locked into the... Here's the finishing order and the points that were paid out. Austin Dillon taking the victory. Cody Ware in the 51 with a strong run, maintaining that good track position and finishing 3rd. And then these are the first guys that are going to have to fight in through the B main. A few big names there, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, but it'll be on to Heat 2. Ryan Preece on the pole, Corey LaJoie on his outside. Lineups will be on your left there. Same format as the previous heat. 30-lap race and top 5 to the pole shuffle, top 10 into the feature. Everyone else will have to go through the B main, and track position will be king. Green flag is out. Corey LaJoie gets to jump on the outside, but it's not going to last into the corner. Ryan Preece, no 3-wide antics, but Connecticut's Joe Logano pushing his fellow, I'm not even going to try, Connecticut? I don't know. Pushing Ryan Preece from the same state through turn 2. and Priest will settle into the lead, and they are crashing behind. Michael McDowell briefly saw the 34 car slide, tail into the wall, and a little bit of damage to the 34, nothing major, but trouble there will bring out the caution. Look at the replay here, and just Ricky Stenhouse, something happened, and Stenhouse gets hooked into the 34. It wasn't Stenhouse, it was Jones. The 3 cars get tangled there, and Jones gets turned up in the 34. Michael McDowell, the unfortunate victim who got the worst of that one. Nothing to do with it personally for him. Coming back to the green again, Ryan Priest will lead them down. Brad Keselowski wasting no time. He wants to get rid of Corey LaJoie as fast as possible, and he will do it. And goes right on by the 7, and they're crashing again. Big stack up in the back. That's Ryan Newman, Timmy Hill, and Eric Jones. Caution is out. Seems like this race is never going to get going. We've already wasted a third of it under caution for crashes like this one. A little bit of a stack up. The only major damage, the back of Timmy Hill and Eric Jones. Ryan Newman actually gets the brakes locked up and comes to a stop right before the outside wall. Didn't have an inch to spare, but he did get it woed up. And Ryan Priest will bring us back again. It is lap 12 here as they take the green. Ross Chastain hard into the outside wall. Looks like he spun the tires and got way sideways and then hit the wall on the restart. Major right side damage, and we'll see what that does for his chances of getting through the heat. He's 8th right now and trying to hold on to that. 2 Penske teammates. We saw 21 and 12 get in the last race. Seems the 2 and the 22 are going to have a much easier time. Those cars very fast, and they have track position, rather than the Blaney and DiBenedetto, who had to work through traffic to get to 9th and 10th. But a couple of good Penske cars up front. And we'll take a look at the transfer once again. That will be the story. Here's Cole Custer working on Corey LaJoie for 8th, or 9th, sorry. Right now, he has the spot, but he wants to get that one extra spot from LaJoie for security. Martin Truex Jr. needs to get one of those cars, and he'll be in the transfer spot. Ricky Stenhouse, Michael McDowell, we saw them in that opening crash, and there they are. They're in the battle. Everybody wants to try and get a few more spots here, and Truex is going to get it. He'll move to 10th past Corey LaJoie. LaJoie, we saw sort of a blockade last race, but LaJoie does not have that lapped car blockade to use to his advantage. Alex Bowman being aggressive, he's going to make a 3-wide move for 11th, and he's going to make it stick. The bottom, the shortest way around, and Alex Bowman move him to 11th. He'll go chase down Martin Truex Jr., or try to at least. See if he can get himself into that transfer spot. Truex just sort of hanging out there. Has a decent car. We'll see what he can do. His teammate, on the other hand, does not. Started 14th and is just going backwards. Already second to last and not getting any better. Kyle Busch is going to have his work cut out for him, especially if he has to go to the B main. If he does, though, he needs to get a few spots so that at least if he's in the B main, he isn't starting dead last. Alex Bowman getting passed here by Michael McDowell. McDowell, despite a little bit of damage, seems to have the better car, and he'll go try and chase down Ross Chastain with 7 laps to go. 6 laps to go here. Chastain damaged, but holding him off so far. Ryan Priest leads with 4 to go in this race. The modified, sort of a modified veteran, you could call him. A lot of experience on bullring, quarter-mile tracks like this one. So it's no shock that he's running well. He's got it under control. No real pressure from Brad Keselowski. Looking at the Hendrick teammates, neither one of them are in position to transfer. Racing for this spot here, all it really does for them is determine where they'll start in the B main. Because this is the second heat, they'll be on the outside lane. So each pass is 2 spots in the B main. So it does matter what Larson just did there. Coming to the white flag here, and Michael McDowell deep into the corner, loses about 2 car lengths. Ryan Priest will win the race. Saw Michael McDowell make a brave move. He lost a lot of time on that last lap. Ross Chastain takes that last transfer spot comfortably. And that will be the end of the heat races. And the field more or less set as to where we're going. We don't know the top 10 yet, but we do know who is going to be outside looking in the B main, and those guys who aren't going to be in the pole shuffle but will be in the feature. Here's your lineup here. Ryan Preece taking the win, and these are your 9 guys who are going to the B main. It'll be interesting to see what they can get done and who can transfer out, and that will be it. I hope you enjoyed this sort of unique new series, and if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, tell me what you thought, subscribe, and I'll see you all in a couple days for the pole shuffle and the B mains. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.